And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and off to the races we go for a Tuesday, December the 19th. We are that close to Christmas. It is cold this morning. We're sitting at 31 with a wind chill of 25 degrees outside. It really puts a burr into it. I see Mr. Shortsleeve sitting to my right. We'll have a talk with him after 7 o'clock about all that. Let's look at radar this morning as you're waking up. Look at that, all clear. Now, we do over here in Valdosta, Georgia. We're showing that they've got a little freeze warning going on. Nothing close to us at this point, so we're doing good here in Mississippi, Alabama. Even Louisiana looks great at all this. So no issues this morning as we start the day. Just cool and cold, I think, is the word that we're looking for on this. We got details on the forecast, and we're going to be right back in just a moment. We're going to give you all the headlines that are shaping up making America this morning. Some of it make your hair stand up, as the old saying goes. It is. It's on the way. Nancy, how are you today? I see Don is joining us from Indiantown, Florida. Conahatta jumps in there. Mike Dallas, good to see you as well. Also at 7 o'clock, we'll go over the very latest that we have. Newton County, a suspect is still on the loose. We've got all of those stories coming up at 7 o'clock on the local level. Next, we're going to be talking about, well, things that affect you nationwide. Let's go to Collinsville now, to the First Baptist Church.
To help us prepare our hearts for Christmas, over the next 5 episodes, we'll focus on the ancient Christian tradition of Advent. Each day, we'll light a candle to help us count up to Christmas Day, focusing on hope, peace, joy, love, and Christ. In Isaiah 9:6, we read a prophecy about the coming Messiah Christ. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. We'll meditate on these names as we count up to Christmas. Today, we light the candle of hope and focus on the hope we have in our mighty God. If there's one thing the human heart needs, it's hope. And this coming Messiah Christ would certainly provide that. You see, he wouldn't just be a mighty human. He would also be mighty God. In fact, the angel told Joseph in Matthew 1 that people would call Jesus Emmanuel, which means God with us. In John 1, calling Jesus the Word, we learn that he existed in the beginning and was not only with God, but was God, and that he, as God, took on flesh and dwelt among us. This is the Christ child, truly God, truly man. And wherever God is, hope is. Whenever God gets involved, hope springs forth. There's always hope in God because God can do the impossible. His might is almighty. He never fails. He never changes. And because of that, we have hope this Christmas and always. Merry Christmas. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, Mouty Cabinetry, and Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors. And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Always good to get a good message off in the mornings, isn't it? Starts your day right. It does in my book there. All right, as we start today's headlines, what's shaping up? Do you remember yesterday morning where I brought up Arlington Cemetery, where they were set to remove a Confederate memorial monument there by the 22nd of December? A judge has halted this. The U.S. Army has had to stop in midstream. This is going to be held off until Wednesday night. We'll see what happens with it next. As a judge has paused their work, a hearing will be held to find out whether or not that will stay or not. That's what we've got happening in Arlington. It's a beautiful statue. I don't know if anybody's seen that. Take a look at that. History is history. You cannot erase it. Pope Francis making headlines. Now, I've gotten several comments on this. I even got one this morning that said, you need to remove your comment, where I said Pope Francis approves blessing of same sex. Now here's what Newsmax put out. Let me show you the picture here. Let's pull this up. This is straight from Newsmax yesterday. Approves blessing. Now, as the old saying goes, in my book, approves and blessing are the same thing. If your father gives you blessings to do something, that means he approves something. Now, you can try to ride the fence and say it's not, but it is. Right down the middle, those are the two in the same in this instance. This has sparked a lot of controversy nationwide, worldwide as well. We all know what the good book says. Pay attention. Pay attention. Our next headline this morning, as we move on from that controversial headline, the U.S. Senate. Finally, the senator has spoken. Ben Cardin is his name. He's broke his silence. As we all know, he had an employee, or a staffer, I think as it's called, in Washington, D.C., that used one of the rooms to take part in a sex in the office is what it was. There's video of it. Very disturbing video, I might add. He's saying it can't be allowed, and he was terminated. Now, he was careful in his wording not to use the staffer's name, but he has been terminated from his portion. Now, he is a Democrat. Senator Ben Cardin is who this all happened with. He is from Maryland. You can look it up. You'll find more information on Twitter about it than anywhere else. The rest kind of hint at it. Twitter, it's all there for you to read and know what's going on. Joe Biden. Well, this is getting serious as we start looking at him. As we all know, Kamala has had her ratings about right here with approval ratings of the American public. Joe Biden has surpassed her. He has sunk below her in approval ratings. Now, what does that mean? Absolutely nothing. A poll is a poll. But I thought I'd let you know what's being said nationwide on that. Texas stepping up to the plate. What are they doing? It will be a fight between Texas and the federal government before it's all done. Greg Abbott enacts a sweeping new power allowing cops to arrest illegal immigrants and take them back to Mexico. And it has set up a showdown with the White House. They're making it illegal to be in Texas on a state law without the federal government being involved. So they will be able to act as a state. He'll be able to call up the National Guard with this being a state law, and if you are there illegally, you could be removed. What will happen, we don't know. Texas is taking a stand. They normally do. We'll see what becomes of this in the next few days and weeks as our country is being overrun. We all know it is happening. Even the whiny babies from New York and other states are starting to whine about it. A Florida drama teacher who was named, she was like a star teacher. She is admitted to having relations with a 14-year-old student. We know where that is headed. Do y'all know let me show a picture of this guy. I can never pronounce his last name. Guy, he does the dine out, cook out, Guy Ferrar. Maybe that. Let me just show you his picture. You know who I'm talking about. This is from Daily Mail. That's what he looks like. He just signed another $100 million deal with the Food Network. Who would have thunk that cooking food could raise so much money? $100 million to drive around to restaurants, taste their food. $100 million.
Don't tell him what he's making from Carnival Cruise Line.
Carnival Cruise Line and he's got restaurants of his own all across the United States. He's got a little money-making deal, but he has a word for his kids. You ain't getting nothing. He said, my daddy told me all that you're going to get is my burial when I die. And he says if his kids don't act right and go to school, they will not get anything. Is it all words or what? It's a lot of money. I didn't know this, he adopted his sister's son. She passed away from cancer, and he took him in about 9 years ago. So he's got a lot on his plate there. But he said they ain't getting nothing for free. They got to work for it. And that's good.
Yeah.
I agree with that. A Florida man. This just really rattles my soul that people could be this cruel. Took a 16-year-old pup who was aging, put him in a garbage bag and threw him in a dumpster. They've caught him. He's been arrested for animal cruelty. How could you? It does bother me. Has anybody seen the video of this? And I won't show it because it is disturbing. It'll rattle you. Colorado, in a parking lot. We've seen this locally. It's the thing catching on to where people show up to do, I guess you'd call it donuts, sliding, drifting, I guess is a word to it. But the car was going backwards. 5 teenagers sitting in the windowsills, and they slung the car around and it flipped. Most are in critical condition from this wreck. It landed on top of them. The driver was arrested, and she has been released for what went on. They were crushed underneath the car. People scrambled to get them out. Think before you do things like this is the best advice I can give. As we go to Fort Jackson in South Carolina, second soldier found dead within just a few weeks. He's a drill sergeant. He's 30 years old. It was 10 days ago that they found someone else deceased. Is there something more to this? We don't know. But they are investigating. South Carolina is where all that is happening. When you become a major star or you get a job that's going to be major, all eyes are upon you. Whatever you do in your private life affects what you do in your real life. Even on a local level, if you're a manager of a store, your actions that you do outside of work reflects upon you in the business that you work for. Marvel, it's the comics that make movies now. Jonathan Majors, he was being considered for the next role in a major movie there. He's been arrested for abuse of his girlfriend, broke her finger, and done a little bit more. All happened as they were riding in a car together, and he got a text from another lady that seemed a little bit flirty. His girlfriend snapped at him, and, well, he broke her finger. He no longer will have the role. That's more or less saying that you've got to stand up for your actions. What you do, you're punished for. That was a major, costly expense for him. It was. Mariah Carey, has anybody ever watched her in concert? I haven't. I've never been to one, and I don't think I could name any of her songs. I just know that she's big, and she's good at the type of music that she does. But concert goers, and we all know that concert tickets are major expensive, they're saying that, well, her shows are lackluster now. Do you agree? I don't know. We'll see there. A 8-year-old and a 4-year-old in San Diego are killed after a car that was running from the police slammed into them. Now, let's back up and look at this. A lot of people are trying to blame the police for this. It's not the police's fault. It is the man who decided to run. Again, taking responsibility for your actions. It's not the police's fault what happened. He ran. Had he pulled over, these 2 children would be alive. It's about time somebody speaks the truth on this instead of siding with the bad guys. That's my 2 cents on the matter. We'll be right back with your weather forecast as we start this day. Already 15 till. We'll be right back as we do this together.
Have a sleigh full of fun this season with gifts and accessories from Al's Garden and Gift. The spirit of Christmas shines in the Christmas shop with ornate and novelty-themed trees, snow globes, nativity sets, garland, ornaments, and more. Now 50% off. Unique accessories, gourmet foods, gift baskets, and certificates are perfect for holiday parties and gifts. Add color outdoors with beautiful blooming winter flowers. And it's the perfect time to plant fruit trees and shrubs too. Magical charm and beauty await your home this wonderful season. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And we'd welcome, let's see here, Katina, watching us from the Dollar General in Lauderdale, Mississippi, up by Ralph's house. Kind of chilly up there also, as I mentioned a moment ago. We're at 31. The wind chill is at 25, so do not leave your house without your jacket unless you're just that extra warm person. There's a few of you out there that are tougher than me. I admit it there. DeKalb joins us. Reggie, how are you today? We've got Crescent Lake. Debbie joining us as well. A lot of you watching this morning. We appreciate you letting us come into your home, your business, wherever you may be today. Let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Nashville checking in at 22, Miss Joyce says. Woo, that's cold. As we look at our record highs and record lows of this day, it was 2008 that we had a warm day, 77. Does anybody remember? This was only 23 years ago, but for some reason I don't recall it. In 2000, we had a record low of 15 this morning. Can y'all believe that was 23 years ago? Have mercy. That would have put me, oh yeah, I was a lot younger. I'll leave it at that. Sunny today with a high of 52 to 53, depending upon where you are as we go north through Philadelphia. Cooler as we get to Noxapater and those areas on up toward Winston County and toward Columbus. We'll get to 50 out to our west, 54 in Jackson and Vicksburg, and to the south it looks about the same there, 55 Natchez. Not much different as we have in the weather forecast. Over in Alabama, we see that we got some 40-degree weather. Look at this, 49 in Demopolis today, 47 in Birmingham. It almost makes you think that, well, we got some winter coming. We'll check that in a moment there. As we look across here, don't forget fire danger conditions today. Heat, if there's a local burn ban where you are, just not a great day to burn. That's for today. We'll watch this closely on that. Lauderdale County does not have a burn ban, but still, don't burn unless you've got a permit for that. It could be dangerous. As we look across the nation and across the deep south, look at this. As we get to Texas, it starts getting warmer by the time you get to Mississippi. Heat wave. 50-something heat wave. Let's look at the 7-day forecast, see what it's got. 53 today, down to 31 tonight. Not quite as cold as it was last night. As we look to Wednesday, halfway through the week, 56, but below freezing, 28 tomorrow night. We will get to 60 on Thursday. And for the remainder of the week, it does warm up as we get into those 60s. Nighttime lows should be upper 40s right at 50 degrees as we head for this. Look at Christmas Day, 65 and a 60% chance of showers. Hate that. Even on Christmas Eve, we're showing that we got some showers rolling in. As we look ahead all the way to the first, New Year's Eve, look at that. Looks like it's going to be 55 with 32. You'll be able to shoot fireworks, no problems that night. As we move into the second, we do show a slight chance of showers. I'm moving in with a 30% chance on January the 2nd. Now, don't forget, it'll take us weeks to catch on to writing 24 on every document. It's just a habit. It's hard to do as January rolls in. What's happening with the fishing world? Chet's Paint and Body tells us, here we go. Best times to fish is going on right now, 5:30 until about 7:30 this morning. So if you're out there, it's perfect, man. It's cold. I couldn't be with you. As we look to your next major time, it'll be dark. Right at 6 o'clock till 7 o'clock is when that next major fishing time will happen. Well, let's talk about deer hunting. What's it doing today? Our major time was happening this morning. Still going on another 10 minutes. Nope. Less than 5 minutes left on that one. Second major time will be right at dark 30 at 5 o'clock until 7 o'clock. So you got a good shot at deer hunting this afternoon as the sun's going down. Probably your best time anyway. So good luck to you if you're going to be out in that Collinsville meets bringing you that. And we're getting geared up for a big show this morning. We'll go over all the headlines and things that's happened over the last 24 hours. Little Rock joining us there. Broadmoor. Miss Georgia, how are you doing there? LaWanda, I agree with the Don Williams statement there. Love me some Don Williams. Thank y'all for joining us. Odie's getting ready. We'll be here. We got coffee going, and we'll walk you through this early Tuesday morning. December the 19th. Again, it's cold, 31 with a wind chill of 25 as you're warming up. A few of you have got temperatures a lot lower than that. Rose Hill showing 29 this morning. Burr, Burr, and Burr. We'll be right back. God bless. We'll see you soon at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.